Hello viewers, Ford DIYers here with another tutorial video for everyone. This particular video here I'll be doing a demonstration on a cheap repair for rubberized trim that does tend to peel up as it gets older. This method does not involve replacing the existing trim either. Also, don't forget to check out my website at www.forddiyers.com or click on the link in the description below. Today I'm working with the windshield trim on a 2003 Dodge Dakota, and as you can see the rubber coating on the trim is in fairly rough condition. Remember, this rubber coating either cracks and deteriorates or cracks and peels up. I had a peeling issue with a Volvo 850 in the past. If you do run into a scenario where the rubber trim is peeling up, then it's best to use a razor knife and cut back the excess material. But also you want to be careful as the trim does have a gasket on the edges and you don't want to cut that away where it's going to cause problems down the road and peel up completely. Underneath the rubber coating is usually either a chrome plated steel or stainless steel, so there isn't normally an issue with the product rusting underneath. First, start by washing the vehicle down. This will remove any contaminants and reduce the risk of dust entering the surface. Ensure the trim is dry and free of any water residue before moving on to the next steps. Using tape, mask off the surrounding area of the trim. In this situation, the windshield and door edge will be masked off as I don't want to risk the chance of scratching the surface. Now I'm starting with a coarse grit sandpaper, which will be 220. This will remove some of the loose rubber coating and also feather in the transition between the coating and the metal below. Unfortunately, unlike paint, rubber is fairly hard to feather in the edge, so there will always be a mild outline of the coating. Once you're happy with the smoothing out of the surface, then move on to 400 grit sandpaper, which will take most of the coarse scratches and also help feather in the edge even more. Be sure you go over all the rubber trim with 400 grit sandpaper, as this allows for maximum adhesion. Once satisfied, remove the tape, clean off the dust from sanding, and wipe down the area with a degreaser and a lint-free cloth. I'm using rubbing alcohol as it's cheap, readily available, and evaporates fast and doesn't leave any residue behind. I will be using a satin black plastic dip coating for these trim pieces. You can use any form of rubber coating spray which is available to you locally. I will mask off the surrounding area, which I don't want painted. When using plastic dip, overspray usually isn't an issue as it cleans off fairly easy on any adjacent surfaces using a microfiber cloth, and it doesn't tend to float as easily as compared to paint in the air. I would recommend using a respirator when spraying this product down though. Wipe the area down again with a degreaser and a lint-free cloth. If we accidentally touch the surface with our hands, there is a good chance that there was oil left behind from our skin, and this would contaminate the surface and cause future adhesion problems. Ensure the surface is dry. Shake the product as per specifications on the side of the can. Apply the first coat on the surface. Use an even coat and not too heavy where it'll cause any runs or drips. Then allow for this to set up before you do apply the next coat. It roughly takes about 10 minutes in between each coat, and this will depend on your climate and how thick of a layer you do apply. After the first coat is set up, apply the next coat and then wait for it to set up as well. Normally, I try to apply it a little thicker than normal as it helps hide any of the imperfections in the existing surface. As I said earlier, you will notice somewhat of an outline where the material is between the existing rubber and the metal trim, so we're trying to hide this. I used 3 coats in total for this trim piece. Once you've finished up with the last coat, remove the tape immediately from the edge. While the coating is still wet, this will help create a nice crisp tape edge line without damaging the existing surface. Just be careful not to touch the painted surface or touch the wet paint on the tape as it can get on your skin and clothing, and it can be very hard to clean off. Once done, allow the product to cure. This could take around 12 hours. Now this obviously depends on what climate you're located in, as well as how thick of a coat you did apply. After that, you're then able to drive the vehicle. So this concludes the rest of my tutorial video. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to post them below. Also, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thank you for watching.